good morning. Welcome back to BT. We are still looking at this pretty big problem over on the westbound QEW, and this is just approaching Burloak, where we still have the two right lanes blocked, and that is all because of an earlier truck fire. As you can see, the fire is out, but of course we still have lots of emergency crews on the scene here, and as a result, we're looking at delays on the westbound QEW from Bronte, so do take your time, or rather give yourself extra time heading through here, and of course take your time moving by those emergency vehicles. As a result, we're also looking at delays on the eastbound QEW because it is a bit of a visual distraction. So the eastbound QEW slow from Guelph line to about east of Burloak, and then that's when things do open up. Give yourself that extra time heading through the Oakville and Mississauga areas. Off the highway starting at 7 o'clock, Richmond will be down to a single lane from Spadina to Bathurst, and that is all for water main repairs. That's a look at your drive, and now sending things over to Frankie for that forecast.
Yeah, let's take a look at the forecast. Let's say you're heading off. It's Monday. You got to go do some business travel. If you're heading to New York City today, eyes to the skies with the threat of a thunderstorm. Cloud cover in Montreal today with some showers in Boston. Mainly overcast skies, Chicago and including Ottawa. Detroit, daytime high today, 26 with a risk of some showers. We have a chance of some showers here in the city of Toronto as well. A lot of that activity, though, is tracking down to the south, just south of the city of Toronto. But there's a chance that it could move its way back over. Seeing some wet weather over the waters of Lake Ontario right now. Seeing some of that push its way into Milton. We've seen some into Hamilton, Oakville already this morning. Keep that umbrella handy because this is the first round into the afternoon, about 4 to about 7 o'clock per se. There's a chance of seeing another round of some showers as well. But today, mainly overcast skies, highs 24. You'll see some slivers of sunshine. Tomorrow, 26, mainly sunny skies, clear tonight, winds out of the northwest, so dry air mass tomorrow as well, no humidity to speak of. 25, humidex only 28, so nice, comfortable looking Wednesday as well. That's your next 3 days, weather-wise.
Well, the city taking today to remember and reflect on the anniversary of the tragic Danforth shooting, which claimed 2 lives and injured 13 others. Our Tammy Sutherland right now on the Danforth with some of the people who came to the aid of those in need 1 year ago. It was a frantic scene. Tammy.
Of course, among those first responders, we have Toronto police, but also Toronto paramedics who were out here among the first people to touch down to find out just how grave this situation was once they got here along the Danforth. And joining us now live here are 2 of those first responders. We have Commander Peter Rotolo from Toronto paramedics, as well as paramedic Alvin Uhala-Garrison. And Alvin, I'm going to start with you. You got here, you've been on the job for about 10 years now, correct, but you got here and you weren't entirely sure of the seriousness of the situation at the moment you touched in.
Correct. We received a few, I received a few details that there was a shooting on the Danforth and multiple victims. I didn't realize the gravity of the situation until I arrived at Broadview in Danforth and walked a majority of the strip.
And what was it like once you actually did take in how large the scene was and how many people were actually affected?
It was hard to believe, especially such a short time after Yonge Street, to have another major incident in the city again. But what I saw was people stepping up, regular citizens stepping in and helping out their fellow citizens, our first responders working together and getting the job done.
Done for sure. And Commander Rotolo, of course, this is not the first time you've been to something unfortunately tragic and at that scale.
Correct. Unfortunately, I've been to a few, but it amazes me, as Alvin said, the citizens and the community that comes together to assist strangers, basically. And as a first responder and been involved in this a very long time in this city, it's always something that amazes me. You know, we're trained to do this while you don't like doing it, but when you see just a regular citizen in the street stepping up, and that, to me, the community come together, it means a lot.
And the paramedics, the first responders who were there that night, it must be tough, especially because among them, Alvin was one of them. You were there as well in April during the van attack on Yonge Street. And so to have these 2 major incidents happening back to back, it has to take a toll. That's on top of what you see on a daily basis. How did paramedics within the service really get the help that they need to move on from that and to deal with it properly?
Well, the department has peer support teams, and we have a staff psychologist, and a lot of the paramedics are trained in wellness to look after their partners and to look after their fellow first responders during that night and Yonge Street or any incident, really. The peer support teams that are on duty will pull them out of service to go and speak with that paramedic and help them get through it. There's a lot of good support services for paramedics and for first responders. We're still learning. There's still things that we can do better, but in whole, the wellness side, we have to look after everybody, and you start that by evaluating yourselves, and we do that.
Thank you so much again for joining us, and on behalf of the entire community here in Danforth and the city, we of course thank the paramedics for what you guys do every day, but especially that night. So thanks very much. So once again, that is with Toronto paramedics just getting their insight 1 year later after the Danforth shooting here. And we'll have much more coming up on the show, including an interview with Councillor Paula Fletcher, who represents this area. She, of course, will be talking about just how the community has come together a year later. And next, we'll send things over to Jordan up in the chopper for airborne traffic. Jordan.